Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil and today we're going to be talking about farm safety, as it is Farm Safety Week 2020, and what better time to talk. So there's probably some of you now saying, oh, this lad talking about farm safety. I know, you can comment away if you want to. I have been, for the use of a better word, caught out before doing things that haven't been overly safe, and it's something that I've learned from, but we'll talk about that in one of my points later on in this video. First thing I want to talk about is slurry gases. It is an unseen lethal killer. You literally, if you can smell it, it's in safe levels, because one of the active compounds, when it hits a certain level of concentration, it numbs your nose receptors and you can't smell it. The smell of eggs, rotten eggs, that's what it smells like to a point, and then it's too late. Some things that we should all do when we're at that job, we should always try and avoid having cattle in the shed. It's better have them out of it than in it. We should always, when we put in the slurry agitator and we start it up, we should leave it alone. Just walk away, leave it running there for 15 minutes, half an hour, knock out some of the gases before you come back to it. If you ever see the bubbles start rising through the slats, get out of the shed. You should never be in the shed within 15 minutes of starting to agitate. Let them slurry gases go off themselves before you really get into your agitating. If for whatever reason you have cattle in the shed and you're agitating and an animal goes down, never go in after them. It's as bad as it is to lose an animal, it's worse to die alongside the animal over something so stupid. You should just always be so mindful of them, be so mindful of what kind of day it is. You should always avoid agitating on a calm day. Always try and do it when it's a bit windy. It helps keep the fumes. It's always, slurry gases are heavy gases, so they stay down. That's one of the things you should never ever, whatever about having children on the farm, that you should really avoid it, but you should never ever have children next or near where you're agitating, because the gases are down there and they're smaller than you. We've seen it before where you'd be agitating and a bird would fly in the shed low and the bird would just land, and that's it, the bird is dead. Something also is something that we're looking into at the minute for our next kind of go at slurry. You can get monitors, yokes that you can put on your waist. I've heard other slurry contractors talk about them, that'll alarm you when the gases hit a certain level, kind of a warning system, so you can get out of the shed. It's something we're looking into now. I can't point you in the right direction of where to get them, but it's definitely something to look into if you do a lot of slurry or that, or even any slurry at all. Livestock can be very dangerous. We're actually just taking shelter in a bit of a as we call it, the clump, because it's raining, but we're with the calves here. But livestock can be very dangerous. Now, them lads, they can't do much, but larger cattle, cows, bulls, mad heifers. There's only one place you should ever go with a wicked bull, a wicked cow, or a mad heifer, and that's the factory. You should never go to the mart with them, because you never know. You sell that animal on. I know some people might say, the animal isn't fit, or the factory's not going to give me enough, and I get more for the animal if I sell them on. But you're only selling on the problem to someone else, and God forbid it never happened to whoever bought your wicked animal. There's only ever one place to go to them, that's the factory. When you're working with livestock as well, with cows and bulls and whatnot, when you go into a field, a pen, anytime you go into an enclosure with them, you should always have in your mind, right, where's my quickest way out of here? Because if an animal ever turned on you, you have to be able to get out wherever you are, get across the fence, get across the gate, whatever. When we used to have cows back when I was younger, I can remember going in to look after a sick calf, and then a cow come at me, and I was halfway across the gate when the cow got me and threw me the rest of the way. And that was one of the reasons we got rid of the suckler cows, was because a lot of them had gone wicked, and wicked cattle are incredibly dangerous. But one of the things as well you should always have an eye on is the quiet animal, the quiet stock bull, the quiet cow. You just never know. It's the quiet animal will catch you out every bit as quick as the wicked animal, because you just don't expect it to happen. This one day you're petting the cow or you're giving the bull an old rub, and next thing he goes a bit too far, he knocks you down and he stands on you. You know, just livestock can be incredibly dangerous, especially when they get bigger and they get heavier. Like the suck calves, they can't do much. They might give you an old puck, but if we were to go out to our paddock of bulls, it's a completely different ball game. They're pucking, they're booing, they're tearing dirt. Always have to be so mindful and so careful around livestock, because it can take very little for the animal to overpower you, have you on the ground. And machinery, it's one of the biggest killers on the farm in its bracket. We should always try and keep our machinery maintained. When I say maintained, we should keep our handbrakes in good working order. We should keep our lights in good working order. We should check over the tractor, check the nuts, whatever about a tractor cosmetically. Cosmetics doesn't really matter in them line of things. It's all about the mechanics. Handbrake working, your lights, they're working, or your brakes good. We should always, with our machine, our implements, trailers, keep the trailer brakes tight, keep lights on them. Other things you can do to try and help is something that we've a couple of machines done: double sets of tail lights on them, extra lights in the back of the tractor, beacons. It's actually a requirement that your tractors have beacons, and the more the merrier. It's literally the more lights you have on a tractor, really the better, or any kind of machinery when you're using the road and that. And just really just maintenance, keeping the thing just as good as you can. Machinery, then we go on to PTO covers. PTO shafts are a very, very dangerous thing, and we should always try, when you have a shaft and you see that's just not right, or the shaft is bollocks on it, we should always try and just go get a new shaft cover for it. Don't leave it. You know, a shaft is so much. I know it's there, I'll avoid it. No, we should always try, when you see something broke, replace it, change it, get a new cover, especially whatever about balers or mowers or stuff like that, where you should never be outside around the machine when it's running. You should never go out the tractor while one of the machines is running. But likes of an agitator and a slurry tanker, where you have to be out kind of operating the machine from the outside, they are essential that you keep your PTO shaft right on them. Also, just on machinery and PTO shafts, one of our tankers will go in and have a look at it there now. So this is our hydraulic tanker. As you can see, no PTO shaft, nothing to get tangled in. It is literally run on a hydraulic pump, 2 pipes, and the tractor supplies it. It works 100%. We've had this since 2013, bought it new like that in 2013. We run it with the 6270 most of the time, absolutely lots. So 100%, fills every bit as fast. It's perfect bit of kit. There's literally, the whole danger with a slurry tanker is the PTO shaft. It's not here, it's non-existent, and it is an incredibly safe way of doing things. And I would highly recommend, if you're buying a new tanker, hydraulic pump is the only way to go. And even if you have a second-hand tanker, you have your own tanker, I'm pretty sure if you have a look online, or you go to your local dealership or that, there's probably conversion kits to make your tankers hydraulic, because it's just so safe. Just literally, you lose nearly all the danger when you take the shaft out of it and you go hydraulic. So the next point I want to talk about is what's called the buddy system. When I did my TAM safety course, so I could get the grant for my dribble bar tanker, we were being told about a campaign that was run in, I can't remember, was it Sweden or Norway? It was one of them Nordic countries anyways, but there was a buddy system where they teamed up farmers into groups and pairs, and they went round to each other's farms, and not really the word criticise, but they went round and said, oh lad, that shaft cover's a bit dodgy, you might want to do that, you know, that whole what can you say, that whole wall, you know, it's not very stable looking. Where they went around and they kind of pointed out things that could go wrong, because us as farmers walking around our own farms every day, we don't pass much heed on a lot of these things. You just kind of see and you walk by and you don't really pass any heed. But when someone else comes in and they see it, and they can pick up on things that we can't see ourselves on our own farms. And it's also an incentivize, when if you were to get your friend just to come round and just walk around your farm and just get them to point out things that maybe you haven't seen before that could be doing with just making the thing that bit safer. It's just all about trying to make the thing as safe as possible. It was something actually when we were being told about it, we were being told that for a year or two they had no farm deaths in the country that they run the program, and it was a huge success. And it's something that I think it'd be very worthwhile. And for me with YouTube, when I make videos on stuff, little things like I didn't pass any heed when I was talking about the back of the tractor in that video, Houston, we had a problem, and the PTO was just tipping away there. It's something that all the Massies do, a lot of older tractors do it, where the PTO on neutral just spins by itself, and I didn't pass any heed in it, but G pointed it out to me, and I've got very much like that. There's little things that I wouldn't myself, I either wouldn't pass much heed on, or I just wouldn't really notice, and you point them out to me, and it's made me a lot more conscious of the likes of that. Like even for my father now, when we're working on a machine, he literally never leaves it running. Before that instance, it was a common thing. We'd work on a machine and he'd leave it running. It's changed. It's made a huge difference to us, and it's something I think is well worth. So the last thing I want to talk about is complacency. Whatever about all the different ways accidents happen, complacency is the biggest issue on farms. We're always in a rush. We're trying to, as you can see, it's a lovely splitting the stones day in July. It's not raining at all. That's just a visual trick. But we're always rushing. We're always trying to get the thing done before the weather breaks. We get too used to our surroundings. We get too used to things maybe not being right and not passing much heed on these things. And it's these things that when mistakes can happen that we didn't pass much heed on, and that's what it can catch people out. And that's why I say complacency is probably one of the biggest killers out there. And something that I've come to start doing now around that, particularly with YouTube, because when I go to make a video, I stop what I'm doing and I say, right, I'm going to do this job now. What's right? What's there that someone might say that you shouldn't be doing that, lad? And it's made me start thinking. I'm nearly doing it the whole time now. I really got into the tune of doing, even when I'm not making a video, I stop what I'm doing, I take a step back and I go and I say, right, what am I doing now? What could go wrong? And how can I make it better? And it's something I think we should all try and do a lot more of when we go to do a job, no matter what it is, whether you're putting on a machine on a tractor, whether we go to dose cattle. We should just take a step back from what we're doing. It only takes a minute. It doesn't cost any money. Just step back and just take the minute to say, right, what am I going to do now? What could go wrong? And how can I prevent that from happening or make it as safer than it already is? And I think that is, if you take anything away from this video, I think that is the main point to take. It doesn't cost you anything but time. Whereas a lot of what I've talked about before, you know, maintaining machines, and people will say, you know, a shaft cover is so expensive and all of that. That's only what I just talked about. It only takes time. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it could make the difference between saving a life, your life, someone's life, or serious injury. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that because it is really starting to rain now. Yeah, it's great weather these months. But anyways, that is it for me. I hope you got something out of this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the description for my merchandise, my PayPal links, and all that other stuff that's pegged in there. That is it for me. Good luck, stay safe, and mind yourself.